In the management at Tata Global, Mr. Ajoy Misra, MD and CEO at Tata Global Beverages, is now with us. Sir, thank you so much for taking out time for us. First up, let's start with Tata Global, which has rolled up the sleeves when it comes to clearing, simplification of its business. We would like to start to talk about each of these steps individually later. But first up, what prompted this series of decisions like exiting some JVs, clubbing the business units? What are the kind of steps that are in store as well?
Well, we are a very widely spread out, global business portfolio rich company, and over the years we were seeing that we were operating in markets which, for various reasons, we were unable to grow to the scale that we wanted, and there were some non-core markets and some non-core businesses and some unprofitable businesses, which again, due to various reasons, structural, economic, political reasons, etc., that our businesses were under stress. And I think there was need to look at things differently. So under the need to look at things differently, the need to bring focus into some key businesses and to simplify the way the company is structured and the way the company would operate became imperatives.
India currently would be contributing about 45% to your overall sales and is the fastest growing business unit. Is this the number one volume wise and not value wise? Can you just talk to us what are the steps you're taking towards achieving that?
Yes, so you're right. 45% of our branded business comes from India at this point in time. We are obviously now wanting more aggressive growth. We want to grow market share. We want to premiumize our offerings. And we want to, in our pursuit of aggressive growth, look at adjacent categories in India that we can enter so that we make a much broader play in this marketplace where there is good growth potential.
Ajoy, hi, morning. Given that growth could come from organic as well as inorganic sources, do you have any big acquisitions planned which could perhaps propel your India volumes and value growth to double digits? I mean, will India contribution to overall sales increase?
I think that's going to be a natural consequence because the rest of our play, the balance 55% of our branded play comes from where we currently are, which are very mature markets of US, Canada, UK, Europe, Australia, where what is considered a good rate of growth itself is quite conservative, whereas our appetite as a company is to actually have very aggressive growth. So it's a natural outcome that we will focus more on India, not that we will defocus from our large markets with key power brands where Tetley and 8 o'clock coffee, for instance, play. But we will to get growth, we will push the India agenda higher. That really is where it all fits in.
So any big acquisitions that may be in the works?
We are always open to acquisitions and inorganic play. Our balance sheet is strong. As a company, we do have an appetite, but we of course will want to be very careful that the acquisition must be accretive. It must synergize well with our existing play, and yes, we will be looking at acquisitions and partnerships wherever it makes good economic sense for us. We are open to that.
Your product portfolio is an important part of the strategy for Tata Global as well. What percentage of your current product portfolio can we classify as premium? What sort of growth do you expect there?
The platform on which our premiumization is playing on, whether it be in India or it be outside of India in UK, Canada or US, is based on a platform of health and wellness, which is the trend that is currently sweeping the entire marketplace, again, whether it be in India or it be in developed markets. So Tata Tea Veda was one such launch that we did. Again, in terms of premiumization, I would say our Tetley play in India with green tea is a premiumization play, because again, per cup or per unit consumption beverage, it is a multiple of what the base tea gives you. It's very profitable. So we have stepped up our investment in Tetley green tea. In fact, this year we invested behind a very aggressive campaign where we had Deepika Padukone as our brand ambassador, and that campaign has been very successful. Our Tetley green tea has seen a very strong growth and a growth in market share, and that's premiumization. So that's also a premium product. So if you look at premiumization of portfolio of our products, I would say at this point in time it would be anything between 20 to 30% of our portfolio, including globally. If I use similar definitions of premiumization, all our new innovations and new product launches in the last 3 to 5 years have been all in the region of premium products.
Right, sir. What is the sort of cost and expense saving you expect from clubbing of these business units? Say CAA with EMA, how would you ensure clubbing of US, Canada, UK, Australia under one business? Will this not lead to blanket decision-making process for all geographies and that could have a problem going ahead?
Actually, the markets outside of India that we are currently playing in, i.e. in order of significance, UK, Canada, US and Australia, are all very developed tea markets, and while you're right, each country has its own nuance in terms of the go-to market or the kind of retail consolidation or lack of it that happens, and the multiples and the account and the channels. Actually, in terms of product, these markets are actually very similar. The only dissimilar market to all of these markets is India. And that is why India being a separate division and international being one division actually is very good for the business in terms of synergies, in terms of moving innovation that is successful in one region to another country. And since each of these countries have a senior country head and a country leader, like Graham Karavis is Managing Director UK, and so on and so forth. Kathy Moniz is the country head for Canada, and Gail is country head for Australia, like that. Each of the country heads actually bring the local nuance of that market into play, and the products and the innovation that one geography does can be in fact much more optimally moved to another geography within the same international region. There are many examples of that we have. The one that is happening right now as we speak is our new innovation of super green teas fortified with vitamins that was so successful in the UK. We've been able to quickly move it to Canada, to the US. Similarly, the pilot experiment we've done with kombucha in Australia, we are now immediately testing it in the US and then UK. So from that point of view, I think this brings in agility and a better synergy and cross-functional movement of products and innovation in these mature markets. Coming to your point about what kind of cost savings. So There is obviously a cost implication also in this, because instead of operating with two big regional superstructures where there is a regional president into who the country heads are reporting, and then regional presidents have all other global functions, sub-regional heads sitting in two different geographies. When you simplify it, there is obviously some cost benefit that comes. It's not going to be huge, but there is, of course, I think the bigger benefit is going to be in synergy and agility and simplification of the way we work.
Okay. You've also exited some of your joint ventures in China, Russia, Sri Lanka, which are the other suboptimal market and JVs that you would be looking at next to Slash.
We will continue to look at different parts of our businesses from the lens of whether we will be able to scale that business, whether it will be a profitable growth, and whether it is core or non-core for our focused drive for profitable growth going ahead. So obviously, at this point, what we've announced are those that you just mentioned, and on the others, we are not in a hurry to just exit for exiting's sake. We are going to give each of our businesses a chance to see whether they can make any of these three things work. It's only when we are convinced that for various reasons that these cannot be giving us these three metrics KPIs that I spoke about, we will then appropriately take those calls.
Okay, Ajoy, you know what? I have to take a short commercial break, but stay right there because I want to talk about what's happening with Tata Coffee, because, you know, that clearly seems to be a pain point with you. But come right back after this short break. Ajoy is still with us from Tata Global Beverages to talk about what really is going on with Tata Global Beverages. Ajoy, you know, Tata Global currently has tea, coffee as well as water in the portfolio. Tell me, what are the other food beverage categories that we can expect Tata Global to have in the next 1 year, and how different will Tata Global's product offerings be in the next 1 to 2 years from now?
So actually we have entered certain adjacencies. I talked about one adjacency which is in the UK market, which is squash. The adjacencies that we are piloting in India we have done a pilot launch for Tata Tea Fruski, which is a green tea based RTD drink. We have piloted it in NCR, Delhi and NCR region, fairly successful pilot. We are piloting as we speak entry into tea retail with Cha by Tata Tea. It's our tea retail pilot. We just opened the 4th format store, and we will closely study the KPIs that we had set and then decide what to do about that business also. So we are testing adjacencies of this kind, and you can hope to see some plays like this and beyond in the coming years.
Okay, so in line with your chairman's stated vision of simplification and rationalization of business structures, can we expect the group's FMCG business to come under the FMCG flagship that's of Tata Sons, that is Tata Global? And I'm talking about bringing the only other FMCG business outside of Tata Global, that's Tata Salt and Lentils, into the company.
I don't want to comment on market speculation. All I can say is that there is no such proposal that has come to the board.
Don't you think even merging Tata Global Beverages and Tata Coffee would lead to simplification of business? I'm sure that is something which you have discussed.
Like I said, I can't comment on this. It's not for me to comment. There has been no such proposal that has come to our board.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us and telling us about Tata Global, the way ahead, what's the various other FMCG businesses are doing.